Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to another deck profile. This time we're doing Pandora. This is the new ruler from Ancient Knights, and she deals with golems mainly, obviously. This is sort of my take on the deck. Obviously, you guys can sort of pick and choose different cards based on your play style and how you want to play, and I'll get into that as we go into the deck. And one thing you'll notice right off the bat is this deck is not yellow and blue. The one that I made, it used different color, and the reason for that, because blue is sort of the default thing you would do because there's blue golems and I think a blue spell that goes with this as well. And the reason for that is I tried it with blue and it actually works pretty good if you want to do blue still. I splashed in not only I think the two main golem resonators, but also Charlotte's transformation magic, Keys' call, and different things like that. But it just wasn't doing what I wanted to do. I like to do a very hard-hitting type of deck, and it didn't feel quite as consistent as this newer version. But I'm sure with some tweaking it could be, but I'm also just partial to just hard-hitting decks, so stuff like Bear Magic and all that isn't what I usually run in my decks. But yeah, so let's get into it. So obviously for the ruler we have Pandora, so on her front side she can judgment for 1, but you have to have 3 golems on your field before you can judgment. She has energized for yellow, obviously, and she has her seal ability is Hair Ornament of Light, which is a 0 cost activate ability. You can do it once per turn on your turn and your opponent's turn, and it allows you to get rid of the mobilize or pay for the mobilize of 1 resonator per turn, maximum of 1 per turn. And so mobilize, in case you don't know, it's a cost you have to pay whenever you attack or defend, each time you do that with a resonator that has mobilize, and it'll say the mobilize cost on it. So this gets rid of the cost. So that's extremely important in this deck, as you'll find out. Her J activated side, she becomes a 1000, 2000 Guardian J ruler, and all golems you control are mobilized. So this is extremely strong, and it's actually sort of the point of the deck. Is I'm trying to make it so the deck makes it so she J activates as early as you can, because I realized that just that making everything mobilized is extremely important and can potentially be extremely strong when you combo and do everything correctly. So that's extremely good. And she has the ability of if damage would be dealt to a golem you control, it's dealt to her instead. So basically golems, until she dies, your golems are never gonna die outside of straight up destruction or removal spells and stuff like that. Battle damage, lightning strikes, none of that is gonna hurt your golems, which is really cool. However, it makes it so she's very vulnerable. And she has another seal ability on this side, so you can pay 4 to have golems you control gain 400 until end of turn. So she's a lot of fun. It's pretty interesting stuff. So for this stone deck, I run 3 mysterious magic stones. So this is the stone that goes with her. It produces 1 yellow, and you can tap it and pay 1 yellow and banish it, and you get to put a golem from your graveyard into your hand. This is sort of a late game move in my opinion. I haven't had to use it yet. It's late game, like you really need a golem, your hand is empty or you're not drawing what you need, and so you can just go and grab what you need out of your graveyard. I run 3 awakened magic stone, so this produces yellow and red. This deck I decided to go with red, and which I'll get into as I go into it. And it yeah, that's straightforward. It does have the ability of if you control a light ruler, which is what this uses. When you J activate, you get to recover it. So that's actually pretty strong. I might actually switch it so I run 4 of those instead of 3, because I actually totally forgot about that second ability. And lastly, I run 4 Magic Stone of Heat Ray. Pretty straightforward of why I would run that. So moving on to the deck itself, as far as additions go, I run 2 Sacred Temple of Light. So this is a 4 cost addition, and basically has the ability of at your end of turn, if you don't control any resonators, you get to banish this card, and if you do, you get to search your deck for any golem you want and put it into your field, then shuffle your deck. So this is nice, especially if you're sort of sitting there with not a lot to play, so you can put this down preemptively, so in case your field gets cleared, or in case your field is already cleared, you get to search your deck, put a golem on the field just for 4 cost. Already searching, grabbing a resonator for 4 cost isn't too terrible in my opinion, but being able to grab one of those really strong golems could potentially be really good and game changing. I run a 3 Fairy Tale library, so this is a 2-cost edition, and you name the type of a resonator, and that gains swiftness just permanently. So you name obviously golems, so they come in, and if they're mobilized, they get to start swinging. Extremely helpful, especially if you're J activated already. Everything's mobilized, so you get to just put a 1-cost 6/6 on the field, for example, and start swinging with it, and different combinations like that. I run one, going into chance, I run 1 Crippling Light, which is a 5-cost destroy all non-golem resonators. Maybe I'll run more of it, but it depends how much field clear I'm going to end up needing. I don't know if I haven't had to need it too much except going against Joey's elf deck, but outside of that, not really, but it's still just good to have in the deck. Boil. So I run 2 of these, so it's 2 cost, and either quick cast, and either does 600 damage to your opponent, or gives a resonator you control 8/8 till end of turn, and at the end of turn you destroy that resonator. So like I said, I like doing just a lot of damage and just swinging in there. So especially with some of these really high value, high damage resonators that I run in this deck, and just passively because they're golems, they're high damage. Being able to squeak in that extra damage could, I find, help a lot, especially with destroying big targets as well. I run 2 Manifestation of Power. I run this not only for its ability to untap and draw a card, which gives you draw power, and being able to attack again or have something up to block going into your opponent's turn, I think is good, but also for the second ability, just so you have Addition Destruction. It's the only type of Addition Destruction in this deck, so it's just good to have as a failsafe in case there's something you really need to destroy on your opponent's field. I run 2 of Real as Volition, so this is a 3-cost quick cast, and target J resonator gets 8/8 barrier and flying until end of turn. The first effect doesn't matter because that's what I don't run it for that. But even though it doesn't get that first effect of making it really cheap, I think still 3 cost buffing it with quick cast for 8/8 barrier and flying is really good, especially the flying part. Being able to swing in, for example, if I have my 2000 golem out there, making it a 2800 golem with flying and barrier is really good, and just chunking out your opponent so they only have 1200 life with 1 move could be really awesome. I run 2 of Summon Magic Warriors. Once again, might run 3 of these. I don't know, but I haven't been having the best of luck with it. But it's, look at the top 7 cards of your deck, you get to put up to 2 golems with a combined total cost of 5 or less into your field, and put the rest of the cards at the bottom of your deck. So it's good for cycling through your deck, really just digging down to those golems essentially, and being able to play them for free and potentially get 5 cost worth of golems for 3 is really good. However, I've yet to actually get more than 3 cost worth of golems out. I just, for whatever reason, it doesn't consistently cycle through for me. I don't know why, but maybe it's a me problem. Probably is a me problem. I run 3 of Conjure Structures, so this is a 3 cost, and you get to put 3 500 light golem resonators with mobilize of 2 void into the field. This is a really great chant because it both populates your field for a low cost of 3, but it also makes it really great for combos. So the combo I most often do is I'll play this for 3, gets the 3 golems out there, and going into my next turn, I'll be able to Judgment now because I have the 3 prerequisite in order to Judgment. I can J-activate, I can swing in with all 3 because they're all mobilized, and then I can banish all 3 of them for the golem I'm going to get to a little bit later, and he's preemptively mobilized, and if there's swiftness already on the field, I can swing with him for game or some fashion of that. And yeah, so there's a lot of cool stuff and combos you can do with this card. It's just really good to have, especially just that consistency of being able to get 3 golems to J-activate. I run 3 Dreams of Flight, so this is both to buff stuff to help not only bring in that damage like I said, but also defensively to help give them some health if they're about to die. Also to give them flying so they can fly over stuff, to once again just trying to get that damage to their face as fast as we can, as much as we can. So yeah, it's pretty straightforward. Next I run 4 Magic Suites, so this buffs J Resonator +2/+2 and gives it barrier until end of turn. So this is 1 cost quick cast, so it's Really cheap, easy to use, defensively, especially to protect Pandora against different things, or to protect a Resonator to keep Pandora from dying is one of the main reasons I run it, but it obviously can be used for a multitude of other things. It's just a great light card to have. I think it's very underutilized in a lot of decks. I run, and last chant I run is just the obvious Force Everyone Wins. It's always good to have counters to help just defend yourself, essentially. So, like I said, I'm just going to be putting it in every deck I have. So, moving on to the Resonators. I run 2 Light Wizard. So, it's a 2/2 Wizard, and you produce yellow to, and you can use that to play chants. And whenever you play a light chant, you gain 200 life. So this is great to help with that ramp up, especially with playing things like Conjure Constructs and different things like that. And leaving them up so you can use your mana to use your will to play different Resonators and have them up so you can play like Dreams of Flight or Magic Sweeps preemptively. And you're passively just gaining life to help you sustain throughout the game. So it's just a really good, especially early game card to have. Next I run 2 Ultimate Magic Warrior Gear Atmos. So this is the card I was talking about. So just passively, it's a 7 cost 2000 Golem with a mobilize of 3. However, you can banish 3 Golems rather than pay this card's cost to bring it into the field. And when it enters the field, you get to destroy a Resonator your opponent controls. So this is what I was talking about. We use Conjure Constructs, bring those out, now you can J-activate, and now you can banish those, bring them out, destroy a Resonator. If you have Swiftness, you can swing in, and you don't have to pay the mobilize because you're J-activated. Different things like that, and in a tight situation you can pay the full 7 to bring them out, but hopefully it doesn't come to that. So as you can see, like, you could potentially, if you have a Light Wizard out and you have Energize, turn 2 you tap your Light Wizard, a Will, and your Energize, and play Conjure Constructs, and then you have those 3 Golems out and immediately banish him to bring him out. So turn 2 you have him out, and then you just tap for a stone, and you still have 1 will to do something with. Something I could actually get to here right now is you could play Sprinting Flame Horse, which I run 2 of. So this is a 200/200 Swiftness Resonator. However, it has Inheritance where you just pay 1 and it gives target J Resonator 200/200 in Swiftness. So turn 2, you have a 2000/2000 Resonator with Swiftness with this. So technically it's 22/22, and you're able to swing in with that. And you've destroyed any Resonator they probably would have had to block it. So it's different combinations like that that are really fun in this deck. Next I run 2 of Magic Sword Warrior. Hey there, buddy. So this is an 8/6 Golem with First Strike, and it has mobilize of 1 yellow. So it's straightforward, just a great Golem to have in the deck. Next I run 3 of the Magic Light Warriors. So this is your just standard Golem, 6/6 with mobilize of 1 yellow. So it's just a great 1-drop to have, essentially. And the last Resonator I have is Riola Alabaster Dragon Princess. So this is a 3 cost 8/8. I run it just for the purpose of healing my J-Ruler after it's died, because like I said, her ability to have everything mobilized is really strong. So if you lose that, it kind of sucks. So being able to heal her and bring her back out is really, really great in my opinion. So yeah, that's my Pandora deck. It's nothing like earth-shattering. It might do pretty decent at your locals. Like I said, it's a lot of fun, especially getting the combos off. I'll probably have a game later on to sort of show it off, hopefully. But I'm a sucker for combos, and especially high damage output combos. So I've been having a lot of fun with this deck, and I hope you guys do too. I really hope that Golems get more support in the future, because it definitely has a lot of potential. After playing it, I felt like it was a lot stronger than I initially gave it credit for. And especially comboing with a lot of these other cards, especially I feel like with red and giving the swiftness and extra damage, it really helps with the deck a lot. So let me know how it goes with you guys and any ideas and suggestions you might have. And I'll have a link below for the deck list going over to our tcgscrubs.com website, with the full list and an article with brief summarization, hopefully. If it's not there right away, come and check back maybe tomorrow and I'll have it. I'm sick right now, so it's not my fault if it's not up already. But yeah, thanks a lot. Subscribe for more, and we'll talk to you guys soon.